you're China, and I mean this like strictly from this analysis we're making today, like wouldn't you be trying to send as much shit as you could to the rump of the regime and just cook, because this whole thing is just one more place to just waste U.S. politics, waste U.S. attention, waste U.S. forces. And it's just now they're bogged down in two different fucking spots. So if you start going into the Pacific at that point, you're going into the Pacific with what? And so in that sense, if you told me in my own conspiracy world, if you were like, China strongly encouraged Russia to invade Ukraine, not because they're like best friends and they're like-minded autocrats, because China was like, dude, we're going to turn Russia into a fucking client state and we're actually going to bleed out the U.S. And then if that same China situation is like, hey, the U.S. has like kind of managed the Ukraine thing, Trump's such a like idiot, but Russia is now subservient to us, let's cut them in another part of their body, let's bleed them out through the Middle East, which the only place left to do that if you're the U.S. is through Iran. Because even if you say Afghanistan and Iraq, and I know Afghanistan, Central Asia, but like Iraq and Syria, all these places were like failed U.S. foreign policy measures. Failed how? They don't threaten the U.S. at all. They're like weak, rubble-filled states full of like people that couldn't get out, with like bastardized economies. And like they're like, if you look at Iraq and you say, well, Justin, how is that a failure? And I would say, I don't know, because like in what like does Iraq threaten anything the U.S. does?
Right.
At all?
Right.
No, it doesn't. Doesn't threaten them in any fucking way. It's like a non-entity state at this point. And so if you like, in other words, like the only place to hit the U.S. in the Middle East left would have been Iran. So let's hit them there and bleed them out there. And the U.S. will not be ready for the Pacific conflict. They just won't be fucking be ready.